Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with Derek Carr and the Oakland Raiders. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here's Dalvin Cook, third year back from Florida State, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
On 2nd and 7, Cousins. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Oh, boy, partner, did that just happen? I've got my hand over my eyes right now because, like him, it's going to haunt my dreams, too. He was wide open. How did he overthrow him there?
Defensively, just very lucky. You know that they got away with one there. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards on the play.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 49-yard line. Cousins gives way to Cook. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
I remember the first time I saw Dalvin Cook play in college. I was watching him on TV, called a scouting friend of mine and said, "Who is this guy? He's special." And he said, "Dude, you're watching a home run hitter on the field."
Yeah, he was special in Tallahassee. Left Florida State their all-time leader in rushing yards and touchdowns. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. It's brought in by Doxson. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 20-yard line. They're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how are you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want to
offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Carl Joseph up from his safety spot to make the play.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Now Cook. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there, because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
Yeah, allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff them for a loss. Throwing, Cousins. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
That's a good job there, creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And Bailey able to knock it through. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Check. Hatchet. Check. Watch the ship.
They run it with a rookie from Alabama, Josh Jacobs. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. 24th pick in the spring by Oakland was Josh Jacobs. Only rushed for 640 yards last year at Alabama, but when you consider the offensive depth chart they had, it makes it understandable. So young, won't turn 22 until February, and they're really hoping that the veteran presence of 30-year-old Doug Martin can be a guiding light for Jacobs. On 2nd down, Jacobs. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Watch the run. Just shot, baby. That's a baby shot.
Right Monday down. 6-18.
Hey, orbit.
Carr looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. The deep ball. He's got him in. Complete. The 30. The 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Josh Doxson, 85 yards. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Check 4.
They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a 1st down as well.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the 1st quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
Mike, 55. Check, 55, Mike. Silver. Hey,
Express.
24. Hey, high 7.
Watch twits.
10-0 the score after one on EA Sports.
Now! 180! Hey, we're good, we're good! 185!
On 2nd and 12, Carr. It's complete to Williams. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
It's a gain of 20.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 46. Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
They start the drive with Cook. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Cousins. He's going to find and complete it to Renfro. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
Partney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you say, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
And he will force his way forward for a yard or two, but I have a good feeling this will be coming back. That one's on Garrett Bradbury, the first center taken back in April's draft. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Cook following the penalty. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll make this a 2nd and long.
At the 31-yard line.
Jahan, 180! 25 to Mike. Switch up, switch up.
Here's Cousins. Going deep for Diggs. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Carl Joseph. And he'll take it across midfield to the 46-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
He's coming, double up. Shift.
On 2nd down now, it's Jacobs. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
Alert flare. Check.
OP.
Check 24.
On first down, they go with Jacobs again. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Hey, watch it.
Heavy. 637.
From the 29, Carr. That's going to be caught. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a first down.
First and goal at the 1-yard line.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
It's a party now. Under 10, 10. 80 weapons. 54.
Hey, 7:34.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score.
He's crashing. He's checking crash.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. They'll run it with Jacobs. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs with his first career NFL touchdown as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no? You just nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Maurice Hurst gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensive with nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And he takes us across the 15 to the 17. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a fourth down. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on fourth down, Britton Colquitt on to punt. Back deep is Trevor Davis. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. This is brought in at the 21. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. The throw complete here to Williams. A Raider first down, 17 yards. Like Antonio Brown, Tyrell Williams came to the Raiders in March. Came up the coast from L.A., where he caught 41 balls last year with the Chargers. His best year was 2016 when the Chargers were still in San Diego. Over 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns, and the Raiders really have high hopes for this 27-year-old receiver.
55. Use right feet. 55. I'm on. Joker.
From midfield, here's Carr. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Back to the air on second down. It's Carr. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they had incompletions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. I'm going to call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over first and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
Hey, watch the ball. Check 26, check 26.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And the defense obviously expecting run as well as they're going to shut that one down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave them with a third and about 3 to go.
Check Mike 21. All day, dog. Hey, check Mike 21. Mike 21. Check Mike 21. He don't know no better.
One more time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he's going to have a first down, but not sure it'll matter as the clock will continue to run. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter.
Let's go.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Here we go. Here we go.
Final play of the half. Cousins. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Now, ready? Here we go. Watch tight end. Tight right. Even. 4 down. Even. Mark 55. And we got to get to the ball, team. Let's keep moving.
Here's Carr to throw. Got his man. That's Tyrell Williams. A gain there of 21 yards.
A gain of 21 yards. First down, Raiders.
180. 180. We're good. We're good. 185. Check three. White Monday. He's checking. Crash. Mike, 55. Right there in the middle. 55.
Recon, 132 fighter.
Watch safety creeping.
Throwing on first down is Carr. Rush coming, and he's taken down. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
After the sack on first down, Carr, he'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's third down. So nothing there on the screen that time.
That means all that great acting they tried on offense went for naught, didn't it? Because you have to try and influence them. Make them think that you're doing something else. Make them think that they can get to the passer by letting them by and then setting up the screen and getting downfield. Didn't happen at all. Give a lot of credit to the defense for not tumbling to that one.
Kill.
Snap comes at 1, and it's Carr. And able to find Kirk complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 21 yards there on third down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot. And they connected there and picked up a first down.
Go.
Now a play fake. Carr. Dancing to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Everson Griffin. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done.
We own this. Whip. Watch the whip.
Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down.
Kill. Right down. Right Monday down. Check. Hey, alert 3. Go Chief. Later 1. We're done.
From the gun, it's Carr. Able to find Waller. That's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And that one results in 35 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play, stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
185. You're mine. Set. Who's right, Chief? White. Switch. Do. Slow that down. That's up.
Once again, it's Jacobs. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
And Anthony Barr just has it all as far as I'm concerned in terms of physique, athletic ability, and now he's versatile as well. When he came out of UCLA, he played outside linebacker, but also down defensive end. The Vikings can utilize the same sort of skills.
29. 54, right there.
Throwing his car on third down. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Danielle Hunter picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
You can't stop me.
And his kick is good. And that will finish off this third quarter of play. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. Or the fourth quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the third quarter. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Now a quick slant as the throw's complete. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Off the play fake, Cousins. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A good pickup there, a 22. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 46. First down, here's the run with Cook. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Again, it's Cook. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Cousins. He'll take a shot for the... He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Josh Doxson, his second touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Vikings have taken the lead.
I know we often laugh and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His 2nd touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. This fielded a few yards into the end zone.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Danielle Hunter able to record his 5th sack of the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Another try after the first down sack. Carr. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. It'll be a pickup of 8 on the screen, and it sets up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Tighten up.
And the blitz does come. And that is incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Right now clinging to a one-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Looking to throw on second down. Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They get the first. The decision to run on third and medium winds up being a good one. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4. Good gain there on first down. It keeps him in a running situation, probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. So here we go, Charles, 3rd down. Any chance you're throwing?
I don't think so. I think you got to keep the clock rolling here.
And indeed, they will keep it on the ground. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. And they're going to go with the jet sweep. This is Diggs with it. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he's taken down at the 50 after a short gain of 2. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. 9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Now Cousins. He sets to fire deep. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish. Football all the way up through, and they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for Minnesota, it's back-to-back victories now.